Welcome to the May 2nd Commissioner meeting. We'll open with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we've approved the minutes from the April 18th meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from April 18th.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. We've approved the accounts payable vouchers as presented.
I make a motion, we approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I second that motion.
All those in favor signify by
Aye.
And we've approved the payroll docket.
Motion to approve payroll docket is submitted.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Okay. We have a Life Spring Catch a Ride grant application.
Okay, so I don't know, do you have the documentation in front of you? Okay. So Lifetime obviously, has been operating Catch a Ride, in 6 counties for a number of years. But this past year, NDOT went through, like a state management review. And one of the things that came up is that the counties hadn't designated the public transportation providers in their counties. And so there are 2 forms that they are requiring us to have the commissioners sign ahead of submitting our grant application. And we just found out about that. We just got the application on, I think, March 29th, and it's due May 17th. And so we've been trying to get clarification. Originally, this came to us and it was written as an intergovernmental agency agreement. And I was like, there's not 2 governments, in this agreement, because most counties are actually single counties. We're a bit unique in that we have 6 counties and we don't have one lead county that's taking our funds. We actually have Historic Hoosier Hills, who acts as our pass-through entity. So they require someone to have oversight. It just, in our instance, does not happen to be a specific county. So I had to go back and forth with them a little bit to get it down to an MOA, as opposed to an intergovernmental agreement between a government and a non-government. I said, you're asking me to take something new to them and it doesn't even make sense out of the gate. So I need some better verbiage here. So the one is an authorizing resolution. I have one here. I filled in president, and today's date, if that's better to sign. There, it's that same document. Yeah, I just filled in right here, president and today's date.
Right.
Replacing what's in red there. That basically just states that, you are okay with us submitting the grant application, that Historic Hoosier Hills is the applicant and recipient of the funds, and then that we are the actual provider. So it's business as usual. It's just an additional form that we are now apparently going to have signed on an annual basis before we submit our grant application. So now that we know, I'll try to make sure that I get on an agenda on an annual basis and come back. Doesn't really require you to do anything other than just recognize that we are the public transportation provider in your area.
Okay.
So that's the first one. The second one, is a memorandum of agreement, and it's largely just more detail around that same sort of thing, but it lists in here, due dates of our reports and various different things like that. All of those are things that we are responsible for, or Historic Hoosier Hills is responsible for. Again, business as usual. It just is that, I think what happens is because, there's state PMTF, public mass transportation funds involved as well, that are designated to each county, that they really want to make sure that the counties sort of have buy-in into the service, that they want to make sure that you're aware of it, that you help us promote it, that you help us find funding for it, that sort of thing. Because of the fact that, obviously each county is benefiting from this service. So that's the gist of it. I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Any questions? To read the resolution. Okay, we're all happy about that. But
Make a motion.
entertain a motion to approve the authorizing resolution for, setting up Catcher Ride and Hoosier Hills,
Okay,
historic Hoosier Hills.
I don't know if you need to put a resolution number on there, if that's, I think they just formatted it that way, I wasn't sure if you had a specific resolution number you wanna put in there.
Resolution.
It's a
Resolution number one.
yeah. Resolution.
We have a
Oh.
numbering system for the resolution.
I do not know what number we're on that now.
Resolution, okay,
Yeah, it's typically just our current year,
yep.
and then I think we're probably around 5, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
I'll let you check on that and finish that up when you, because, well,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Is
if you
that
could just,
okay?
if you wanna just let me know, I'll fill that in and scan the final
Oh,
version
okay.
back to you.
We'll do that
If-
too. Yeah,
if
that's
that works.
fine. I'll email you.
That'd be great.
okay. I'll make a motion. We support the funded rural public transportation memorandum of agreement with the historic Hoosier Hills. And also, what was the other one? Authorizing resolution.
I second.
any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Okay, anything else?
Not at all. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I'll get on a regular, this is gonna become an annual thing now, I guess. So I'll make sure that we get on the agenda, as appropriate every year and just appreciate, I know obviously the county's supported us for a number of years and we're appreciative of your support, so.
Appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
You want me just to take it and
Yeah, you-
forward you back the final?
I know sometimes I have to sign them, but
Okay.
so if you just want to take it and then I will let you know the number and then
Yeah.
send it back.
That's fine. One might have to be attested. Okay.
Well, it says commissioner test, so is that,
Yeah, I think you sign and then someone will attest.
Basically, that's-
Yeah, she'll attest to that. Yeah. Thank you so much.
are we gonna make the appointments and sign it later? So next, we have a couple of appointments to the Health and Human Relations Commission. Jane Stormer, who's on there, and myself, so I entertain a motion to make those appointments, just a year term.
I make a motion to approve appointments to Health and Human Relations Commissions, James Stormer and Commissioner David Bramer.
And second that motion.
All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All abstain. All right. Oh, you wanna go? Gonna get the departments, but we can let you go if you want.
I had a little bit of a setback this last month. I was in the hospital again. And then, it kept on getting so wet that I got the Bobcat stuck twice. I'm having one, dumpster, already had one dumpster already removed, and the other dumpster is gonna be removed tomorrow morning. And then, the dump truck will be using the dump truck to get some of the debris as well. It's kind of hard to tell. There's a little bit of, work done, just way from the highway, but I was able to get a lot of the, debris moved away from the, on the bigger property side and take some over to the other side, and put it in the dumpster. So I understand the frustration and, doing the best I can. I apologize for, I should have got a hold of, Josh a lot quicker. I didn't really think about it. And, I realize now that whenever he calls, his number comes up private number, but it doesn't say the number. And I've always had bad luck every time I've answered the phone, because I always robocalls every time I've done that, so I just never did it, and, so
So, I mean, do you think you'll be able to continue? I know in your email you said if we wanted to look at that, but you think you're gonna be able to continue to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. We want to make sure that things continue to show some progress, understand there may be health issues and weather issues that are gonna slow things up, but, I know Josh was concerned that it'd been a little bit of time, but I don't know that he knew because he hadn't heard back from you whether, if you've been in the hospital or any of that,
That
so.
was my fault.
Well-
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start calling his office.
Okay,
And,
That was-
cause I don't know what
take-
his cell number is, but I'll
sure,
call his office and kind of keep him a heads up. And then, well, since he got you guys' email, he can forward it to you guys.
sure, that'll be good, so
All
we
right.
just,
Would you like me to come next month?
Look,
Or just stay in contact with you?
I think if you stay in contact with Josh, and if things don't progress, then we may have to have you come back, but if you're gonna continue to make progress, I think we're okay. Just make sure you keep things going and let him know if you do end up in the hospital or something happens, but,
All right.
okay?
Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll switch it up, sorry. You get to sitting in the hall. Oh,
So the health department, with the Madison Police Department and Healthy Communities Initiative had our medication and syringe drop off last Saturday. We got 91 pounds of medication turned in and 43 pounds of sharps. So
Wow,
both the sharps is pretty on par with what we normally get, but the medication was the highest we've had since starting it back up. Success. And on Monday, we had our Board of Health meeting. And they approved for us to go ahead and get some quotes on turning one of our unused, mildly unused, we just don't have a lot of traffic in it, restroom into a specimen room / lab area. We currently don't have what I would consider to be like a safety shower sort of eye wash area or anywhere to make sure our employees are taken care of properly in case of an incident. And then it would also allow us to put a pass-through between the public bathroom that's going to remain so that we could have like a specimen pass-through door. It'll help with some compliance issues as well. So, and we have funding in the Health First for capital. And we also have around 6 figures or more worth left of our COVID stuff in one of our other funds. So we can fund it ourselves.
okay. Good question, sounds good,
Yeah.
So I just kind of want some approval to go ahead and get
Oh.
quotes.
sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, people that you
I think we have.
You
we
have
have
some,
two-
you have,
I
okay,
have 2 that I want to reach out to, but if you guys have certain people that you want me to reach out to as well, I'm all about it, so.
I've got a couple for you. They've done work for you before, but you know,
That's,
they're very good and trustworthy. So.
those are probably the 2 I'm
Yep.
thinking of, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll bring you 3.
that's good,
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon?
The 24th and 25th was the 9/1 Director Summit. We started off with a human trafficking free conference. It was a quite a heavy topic. If you weren't conscious of strangers before, you were afterwards. I met and spoke with numerous 9/1 directors and their deputy directors throughout the state. We tried to compare and contrast some issues in the 9/1 industry, but we find out that we have a lot of similar problems, but you know, low time, low wages, high stress. So, but it was nice to get out and meet some of the directors around the state. I listened to Captain Guy Reuters. He was a fighter pilot and POW for Vietnam. He served 6 years. He spent 5 as a POW. He completed 400 combat missions. He was awarded more than 30 combat awards, including 2 Silver Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, 2 Bronze Stars for valor as a presidential citation, a POW medal. It brought me to think about our new Vietnam Memorial downtown. You know, just thank you to all service members near and far. We talked about CAD interoperability, so, currently, it's only fire and EMS operated or based. But in the near future, like fire and EMS response will no longer be dictated by county, but the closest fire station or EMS station to you. So last year it was a feasibility study. It was if it was gonna happen. This year it's a not if, but when, and then next year is not when, but how much money will it cost us? So, and then tomorrow is a incident review for the severe weather and solar eclipse tonight, tomorrow at 6 p.m. All I got. Questions?
Thanks. Here, sorry, I'm catching her, here. Go ahead. Can you contain yourself? If you can't, we'll make you wait if you can't.
No new purchases, huh?
No new purchases. Just to give you an update, with the online donations, the girls from German America come up when we're starting the layout of the website so that we can get the link and all that stuff. So that's in beginning works, should be completed in the next couple of weeks. I said, other than that, not a whole lot. I'm just.
How's a new van doing?
It's all right.
Good, good.
Any scuffs on it or anything like that, you know?
Well,
It's been used, that's
yeah,
fine, I'm
it's
just,
been used.
it's, those first ones can be always a little traumatic, I understand. Even if it's a used van or a used vehicle, you know. Then you're like, oh, okay.
I mean, other than that.
Okay, thank-
Thank you.
He's looking at his tab back there, he's trying to figure out which blizzard he's gonna order.
Yeah.
I am, I put a little order in now.
Yeah.
Total loss of concentration.
Amazing group.
Quick update on the progress of the paving there. The contractor's about 65% done. I know that they've been, finished up striping. They're pretty close to having that done on J. Berry and Dawson Smith, so they'll be moving on. They started paving on 1,000 West today. It's probably a 2 or 3 day project, depending on weather. Several tons there as well, but it is a little bit closer to their plant, so that can go pretty fast. We've been getting miles of ditching done, so that's been greatly needed, and the life of these roads is the biggest part of it's drainage. Some places we can drain, some places are they're just low spots, is what one guy told me when I was out there ditching on the road one day, and I was working away, and he drove up, he said, "You're just in a low spot, there ain't much you can do." But I appreciated him recognizing that. We've been very busy putting in several culverts as well, a lot of patching. I do have several complaints that have been coming in. I think you guys have been included in all the emails out there on Greenbrier. I don't think you want me to read all the emails because we'll keep it short and sweet if we can, but I'll make sure they get passed along to you. I did tell the gentleman today that I would bring that up just so that you guys knew that was on the radar as well. I had made the mistake of telling them that we hope to get that done in 2024. I might have been a little bit closer to that, and at that point in time, that was a couple of years ago. Nobody envisioned flood, so I usually don't give dates anyway, so there's quite a bit of work to do on it, but we are making some progress on it with some culvert replacements, and ditch will be getting done on it as well. I do have one a little bit more unique situation. Gentleman on 275 North, it's, for all I can tell, it's abandoned road. I don't know when it was ever a road that was passable down to Hardy Lake. He's building a new house back there and some cabins, and he purchased property, wanting to put a fence up so that nobody would have walking access basically from there down to it. And when I looked at it before, I told him, after we kind of consulted, I talked to DNR, manager of Hardy Lake, and they were all fine with him putting up a gate and having access to that. And then he kind of mentioned today that he kind of wanted that to be deeded over to him, and I'm not sure that we actually have a deed for that portion or how far we want to go with that. So if you guys want me to draw something up a little bit more descriptive in an email, I can sure get that done. I talked to him later here this afternoon, so I didn't get that all drafted up. I didn't want to go ahead and mention that here to see which direction you guys wanted me to go or to send him.
I think we'd be open to look at what he's talking about, but it's kind of, so if you wanna write something up.
Okay, I can do that. I told him I'd try to take care of as much as I could with email and communication, so he didn't have to come in. He's more
Sure.
than willing to come in if he needs to.
I think if you feel good with it, then just sending us the details and we can look over that.
Okay, okay. And outside of that, that's all I've got unless you guys have got something. Very good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, we've revisited this public assistant calculation maybe the last one element. I think maybe you brought some estimates in for the roof sets, which is pretty close. I think we're within like $1,000, maybe $2,000. And we can try to get an estimate on Troy Hopkins' car for restoring the hail damage. And I think that should put us over. We sent everything to Indianapolis. They looked over all our business and haven't gotten back with us about the yes or no on some things yet. And that the volunteer people that were here for the weekend cleanup, those don't factor in until after the paperwork. So in that calculation, that happens like there, and our FEMA's level. So there's still a chance for us to get some public assistance money back, and it looks like we're close enough. I mean, we might hit that threshold. So hopefully we make it. And I get some of our time. It's awful to have to go through, and it's horrible that the damage is damage, but hopefully we can recoup some of that. Couple grants coming up and just opened up this last week. And in the midst of, just trying to double check and make sure this tornado stuff is all squared away. We just got started on a couple of those today. Did receive an email today, and they're gonna send Heather a contract. We've been awarded $117,600 to insulate the building in Hanover through an Office of Energy Development grant. So I think that's huge, gonna take care of the insulating the logistics building in Hanover, which are making a huge difference in that building. And then they're gonna do some work at the county highway garage as well. Met with the resource planner for Christopher Burke Engineering, to review our multi-hazard mitigation plan. It seems like we did never really get that finished up, and I need to get a hold of somebody with the town of DuPont, because we need a copy of a resolution where they have adopted that multi-hazard mitigation plan. And I've Googled, I've called the numbers, and called some friends and sent some messages and on it. Anybody got a number?
I'll send you a number.
Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully they've got it done and on bit.
Robin, yeah.
Robin,
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I can.
All right, I had like a something or other at DuPont State Bank or something, and the phone number that was on Google, it's now I don't know, German American Bank. So and then
she used to be the manager out there. That's probably what.
so and then I may luck it all get hold of anybody. So
But she's the mayor of DuPont. So she'll let you know. She's a good lady, good lady.
I did see the park out there.
Oh, my.
That's a great facility. I was out there during the eclipse and saw it in the dark and in the light.
It's prettier in the
Pretty
light,
neat,
isn't
yeah.
it?
It's pretty neat. It's nice looking park. The last class for the primary emergency management certification that I've got to get finished up, is scheduled for, May 20th, 24th and 25th. So I'll have that wrapped up, by the end of the month. IDHS has requested our classroom down here. They like the facility and they like the location. So they want to start hosting some of these classes down here, and they've asked to vacate the building on the 8th and the 9th, the classroom for a couple of days. So I think there's like 25 or 30 people who attend the class. So it's nice to get that attention from Indianapolis and the partnership with them, and kind of, makes that relationship a whole lot closer than what it is most days. So we're anxious to help. I went down to assisted Clark County Emergency Management, the FAA, the Air Marshal's Office with counter drone operations during the air show, and the fireworks, and then traffic mitigation after that was over with, for Thunder Louisville. That went pretty smooth. Had some really light drones, a lot more drones up this year than what they did last year. So it was kind of disappointing, and I'm just amazed some people's audacity. And like the guts that they have to do some of these things, just to shake my head. We've not started an after action report for the tornado or the eclipse. We've just been busy enough trying to get the paperwork done. And so when we get that all finished up square well at business, then we'll sit down and meet up with the major players and see how we can kind of iron some things out. What we made some notes along the way. I'll update a couple of the other EMA directors that were here helping stuff. They stepped up and, you know, put their 2 cents in as well. So, overall, we're really happy with both of our plans, and, things worked out really well. I was really surprised we didn't get more traffic through than what we did, and we knew our pinch point was gonna be the bridge, because that's where people were going. And it was, and, so I offered a couple solutions to them, and I was gonna take some signboards down and push some traffic a couple different ways. And I think by the time we got it all done and gotten down there, it sorted itself out, so. So, a lot of traffic through all that business, but wasn't near what we thought it was gonna be, and so it was good. And it was a spectacular show. Let's see, I'm serving on the committee with the National Weather Service. I had, my first interview today. And talk about like, you know, just various, you know, weather events and how that affects, populations and rural settings. We talked about the microburst storm that flood out in Deputy area and, in Brooksburg. And that was already on the radar. They want to talk about that a little. So, and then, working on the, event management plan. Shane Williams sent a message, I guess at one point, a few weeks back, they had a UTV race, out in Canaan. And had some significant injuries, I think, throughout the weekend. They flew or transported 12 patients from there. I think they flew 4, and I think the rest of them transported by ambulance.
Ground.
And at one point, they had all 3 ambulances that were on duty, the duty crew and the paramedic out there, which puts us at a pretty big disadvantage. If we got something going on, we got to the county, because that's an hour trip from where they were. So, so we're working, on solutions for trying to get that fixed. An event plan, I think, will help a lot. And then trying to tighten up some gaps and things that we have, just to know we did address. Because something pops up, you just address it as it comes along. So I think of the plan that we've got, it's working pretty there. Seems like it's gonna be, you know, decent enough. I think it's a great start. And we had a good meeting. Sheriff was here and a couple other players over here. So I think we're off to a good start with that. And shouldn't take so long. We'll have something to present. So, any questions?
Keep up good work.
Yeah, thanks.
With me? Sure. Do you want to just stay there, or do you want to come up here?
I'll stay here. I'll play.
That'd be fun.
These are with my balance.
Yeah.
I have a few things. Are you, in most towns, government, federal government, have been using an ISMI box, normally referred to as stingray boxes, where they track your cell phones, they can intercept your cell phones and so forth. It's an ISMI type thing. And it seems that communities all over the country are using these things to track cell phones. And my question is Jefferson County using any ISMI boxes to track cell phone traffic for law enforcement without a warrant?
I'm not
Not that
that I know of, but we can check into that
I
and
would
see.
appreciate that. The other
So
thing is-
so I get the letters correct.
IMI.
What's the initials of this?
ISMI,
IS.
Is it in one of these papers that you've given us, or
they're called stingrays.
Stingray?
One of these papers.
No. I don't know, it may be in some kind of paper, I'm not sure. I doubt it.
We'll ask and find out.
Next.
Yep.
Thanks to, Mitch McConnell and Todd Young and 6 or 7 other Republicans, the Democrats passed a law called the Safer Communities Act. And I would imagine that act made some people in this room felons. And I'm almost sure. Because that act prohibits you to transfer a firearm to anybody without an FFL license. You know, and when it's still up in the air is whether you can transfer it to your spouse or not. Loan it to her, but you cannot even transfer it to your spouse for insurance reasons. So if you transfer a firearm now, you are subject to, it is, my fine print here, 5 years in prison, $250,000 fine and or both. The rule is 466 pages thick. On that one little couple words that was changed with the help of Republicans, with Democrats, I think they changed 2 words. Caused all this happening. So you cannot transfer a firearm without an FFL right now. And as of last week, 27 states have sued this week. As of this week, 27 states have sued the ATF and so forth, Department of Justice on this. As, I don't know just what the lawsuit said, but they got sued for doing it. And the other thing I had is, on the ATF, we need a law in this county. It says anytime ATF comes into this county for a law enforcement purposes, they must check in with the sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department must accompany them on whatever they want to accomplish. They just made another raid down in Arkansas and they shot again an innocent man, an airport director, because they thought he was dealing in goods. The key word there was they thought he was dealing in guns. The ATF gave us Waco, they gave us Ruby Ridge. There's the Mondays we could just years long. The ATF should be disbanded. Most of them should be put in jail. If they come into this county, they have to check in with the sheriff's department, and he is to be in charge. This is rampant all across the country with these raids, usually in the middle of the night, 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, the Arkansas man, he was director, he goes to work every day. They could have stopped him any day going to and from work and so forth. They didn't do that. They got a judge giving him no knock of a warrant, and they bashed in at 6 a.m. in the morning. Now, I can tell you, there's a lot of houses around this county at 6 a.m. in the morning, you crash in their front door, and you might not like the results. And then they're not sure whether one of the agents was killed by friendly fire or whether the guy got a shot off and killed him before they killed him. But ATF needs to check in with our sheriff's department here. It's critical. They've been out of control. They've got a history of getting away with it. And I've been talking to my senators and representatives and everybody else. Get rid of the ATF. We don't need them, have never needed them. If they started out way back in the days when they were making illegal whiskey, and all they do, they keep the same agency, they just give it a new name and a little bit of different responsibility. They need to get rid of it. And the other thing, I'll give you on the Bipartisan Savers Community Act. Remember that Mr. Todd Young said, all these school districts out there are gonna get all this money and everything. I checked with the Board of Education here, we didn't get anything. In fact, only 38 school districts out of 3,000 got any money at all. And guess what? Every one of them was in the state of Oklahoma. Nobody else got a penny. So that whole bill should be done away with. I'll give you a little quiz, then I'm done. If the United States removed just 5 cities, just 5 cities in the United States, do you know it would be the safest country in the world? You have any idea what those 5 cities might be? Give you a few minutes to think about it. Anybody?
Chicago's the first one.
Chicago's when you are right, Chicago. And do you know Chicago's been run by the Democrats for 82 years? It's a matter of trivia, but. And.
Not tribute to folks that live there.
Anyway, it was Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Baltimore, St. Louis. And that's about all I had tonight, but I'm very concerned about the ATF and, there are no knock rules, and we have to make sure they check them about our shit. But, you know.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Here to listen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nothing yet.
No.
We're gonna wait, or we're gonna,
No.
no, okay.
I just want to set the record straight. I was jokingly stated by a local rag today to have dementia. And I just wanted to make that known that I do not. But I can take it, I'll roll off my back. But what offends me is to jokingly state that the families that do have loved ones that have dementia, that's nothing to joke about. So I just wanted to set that straight, that I'm okay. Just had to vent that a little bit. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So we're working on our applications for the Ready 2 projects, looking for some, looking to get probably an architect to do some design work on the new animal shelter, and looking for some other funding sources for the new campground that we'd like to put out at the Jefferson Proving Ground. So still moving forward with that. There's a meeting on next Friday, the 10th, at 10 o'clock at, pretty sure it's at Ivy Tech in Sellersburg. So,
Another thing.
oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yes.
A few weeks ago, I saw it in Madison Courier
I was gonna say,
that the county attorney mentioned ranges for law enforcement. I think that we've got plenty of room out at Jefferson Proving Ground that can be used for that.
sure, that's part of the discussion as well. I mean, you know, that we had talked about when we purchased the land for the new jail, that we'd look to put one there, but I think another opportunity would be out at the Jefferson Proving Ground, and
Yeah, it's already set up in the state.
Our main concern is trying to get it out of by Ivy Tech and Frank's Drive and
yeah.
I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, I was teaching one night out there and they started firing. I was going under the desk. I mean, I mean, I knew it was there, but it was just enough, caught me off guard that, yeah, so.
They were shooting some big movies today.
So, yes, plenty of reasons, and, you know, we'll see how things work out, but yeah.
It's close to the animal shelter that says the animals.
That's true.
Yeah. We very seldom have the animals affected by the sound anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the most.
most of the time they shoot in the afternoon anyway, don't
I
they?
didn't
You've
know
usually
those
got the
were
dogs.
and cats got gunfire.
Well, I don't know if our building, like when we're inside, it just sounds like background noise. But when we do go outside, you can really hear it, but the concrete building does
Sure.
sound.
Most of the time, the animals are in, their dogs are in their kennels inside,
They
so,
start shooting.
yeah.
I'm inside when somebody starts shooting.
They don't get you standing out. They're ramps.
I think, I mean, since 2008, I've gone for a little period, but I mean, I've maybe a handful of dogs that I've noticed that really like whelp or try to run away when somebody goes, the majority of them.
I think sometimes that's something that had happened to him in the past, and noise like that will just startle him again. Cause,
I
I mean, just,
It's not something we thought about, we thought we read that they said that it might affect their well-being, but yeah.
anything?
I don't know.
Sorry. Anything?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second that.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye.